Hmm.
Hey guys, welcome to our review of Kamen Rider GO, episode 18. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
The Cinder Blaze.
Oh, Jesus. And his voice is only getting worse. You might be wondering why this is late. Oh, it's still 100% because of that. But yeah, we finished watching this episode a few days ago, so we've had time to sort of think on it. Right off the bat, I think Waz's forms are cool. The moment that really stood out to me was like at the end when Waz was talking to Gates, and he was saying, "Oh, hey, it was said that someone held the power of 3 future riders and defeated Geo, and this might be one of them." Perhaps I guess we've established him as White Waz. Is White Waz now? Do you think he might supplant himself into the story and create a third branch?
I feel like, uh, yeah, I feel like he's a lot more different than Black was just because with that one statement, he's like, this might be one of them. I feel like the future isn't really set, and that kind of goes alongside his powers because he constantly changes the future. He literally writes it in what's going to happen.
So I feel like that's like his big thing. Like his big plan is probably trying to get up in there and create a third timeline. I don't know. It's interesting to see, and I feel like Geo's at this point where like, oh hey, Geo was this evil overlord. That's one end of the spectrum, and then the other end of the spectrum is Gates killing him. And then where they really want is to get a good mesh of both to where they're both on the same side, and they're both, I don't know, fighting evil, because like that's where they want to get to. Um, I'm also still really confused as to why they chose. Actually, I know, like, probably from a production standpoint, I know why they chose um, the writer, like the actual writer, to be the, I guess, another writer. Like, they turned the writer into another writer. It's probably because they didn't want to pay another actor if they were bringing back a Sentai alum anyway. Um, but, like, he just after that conversation they had, like, oh hey, try to find someone who wants to be an overlord, but then they just never did it again. They only did it once with Genom, and then now they're just like, well, this guy.
Yeah, like that whole thing wasn't really like sticking for me as well, so I'm kind of glad that they kind of got rid of it. But like right now, it kind of feels more of like a temporary fix with Shinobi. Like maybe just like not part of that formula whatsoever. What they did like about like the whole thing of about gays beating uh, Geo with writers that he hasn't had before.
Hmm.
That was really interesting. I feel like if there was a way to beat Geo, because like pretty unstoppable, honestly. Like at the beginning of the series, and with like the powers that we kind of knew of, there was no plausible way to beat Omageo without beating Omageo. And for there to be like an alternate timeline, like he's the master of this timeline, but that doesn't mean you can contest with the powers of other timelines and other stuff like that. So that was pretty, like it opened up the world a bit, right?
I have some like grander theories considering the power up we're going to be getting eventually, but I don't really want to like say that since it would be spoiling it for you.
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah.
but I don't know. I think the idea of a split timeline may be an element that they're gonna play off of, because like they're eventually gonna hit that point. They're gonna hit Oma Day, and I'm
Yeah.
really interested. Because like at that point, they'd have to choose one of them or just create a third branch entirely, and we don't quite know when that's gonna happen. We know it
Yeah.
happens this year. We have confirmed that it's happening this year.
Yeah, but the thing about that is like Waz knows which day it is. 'Cause he has
Was it?
yeah, because he has the book. But like the show isn't telling us what day it is. Kind of like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like in other shows they would just like legit just have a timeline like X days till so and so what happened, and kind of have like a timeline kind of gauge.
Yeah, I honestly think they just want to keep their schedule flexible. So if another actor wants to return, they can be like, "Oh yeah, come on in."
Yeah, like that's entirely why, and they don't want like, and with like the current arc we're in like right now where they're messing with future writers, that shit is so bonkers that they just like need the extra time. You know, you can't like lock into a certain date for
Hmm.
the over day stuff, or else it's gonna kind of go to shit. I feel like right now it's like a band-aid fix on the plot
Hmm.
until like we actually see what they're gonna like do off this.
Yeah.
For me right now, like this stuff is like interesting. Like it could change the plot in an interesting direction, but we actually haven't gotten there yet.
Hmm.
Because like it introduces the concept of gays beating Geo. But like
Hmm.
right now, like I'm looking at this screenshot of the episode, and gays look so fucking lost. It's just like a random like shot of gays, and compared to like Geo, who actually looks like he's like a competent writer. So I'm like, there's no way this monkey can like beat him unless like
you,
drastically change.
you're bringing the monkey element back into it.
Okay, no joke. Like his posture kind of like looks like it because his knees are slightly bent and his arms are kind of like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um, and like another interesting element that I think sort of the show, I think it's clearly unintentional, but like, um, I like the idea that Oma Day is the day it splits off and not the day that Gates goes back in time. And like that would be the one that split the timeline because that would mean that Waz and all his like machinations are like he's effectively preserving the timeline up until Oma Day.
yeah,
Because like his whole thing, so it's basically working. Like Waz's thing is basically working. He's making sure the timeline is at least stable enough to remain somewhat in place, and then Omade is the one that it like branches off too far. I don't honestly, I don't think it was intentional because
yeah,
like for real though, it should have split at that moment. If you wanted to do the split timeline thing, the time Gates and Tsukiyomi came back, that would be it.
yeah. Like from like for that perspective, it feels like everything up until Omid Day is kind of like insignificant. So like Waz is just there to kind of like make sure like Geo doesn't die or something. You know,
Hmm.
and that's about it, and everything else is just like whatever.
Yeah. But I feel like it's what it really is like the actions are similar enough, not necessarily the feelings or the emotions behind those actions, but the actions, the points are hit.
Yeah, like he still gets the writer watches
Yeah.
at the same time,
Hmm.
but maybe in like different fashions.
Well, I
Yeah.
feel like there was something early on where they were saying like, oh hey, he got his belt early or something. I don't know. Oh wait, no, he didn't. He got it. Maybe. I don't know. Either way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I wonder what's going on with the other Geo though that's stuck in the past. I
Yeah.
wonder how he factors
I
into any
know.
of this.
He's not even there anymore.
Yeah, like maybe like it's Omade for the slightly older Geo
Yeah,
because he was in the past for a couple of years.
that would have been the like the first like if Gates didn't split the timeline, that would have split the timeline. You know? Then there's one timeline without Geo in it at all because he went back in time and created a new
No,
timeline.
because went okay when gays traveled back and like when Decay kind of like shoved Geo into like the future,
Oh, that
that's on the same timeline, and he's still on with Geo.
No, I was saying the Geo in the Gaim episode who went back in time and then just never came back after that arc. There were two Geos at
Uh,
one point, and then he
yeah,
just
that's yeah. Or maybe it's Omade for that Geo.
Oh.
It would make sense for him to be,
I mean, no, it wouldn't, because like they would have said something. They would have set something up, right? Like they would have had him as part of the. No.
I mean, he could easily be that cop out at the end of the series, and I'm kind of hoping for that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, those were our thoughts.
Yeah.
And if I'm honest, I don't quite remember what happened in the episode. Boom! Curtain lifting. Guys, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below if you realize that we didn't know what we were talking about.
Okay. One thing about the episode I will kind of throw out there, little bone. Watts creating the fucking Shinobi watch? Come on. You got like tone down his powers a little bit.
Oh yeah, like him etching that into existence. I don't know, man.
Like, why don't we just have Omega-A's? Okay, that name's so
Keep
good.
it juicy.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh hey, also vote for me, Capsouger, down in the description. Link, there it is. Rumor Me 2018. Thanks, Matt Hunt. Hope you're doing well, Matt. You're not gonna watch this, but I hope you're doing well, because